Hello everyone. Ciao Mui Nui. It's a perfect morning here in Da Nang in central Vietnam. My name is Devendra, Tentoila Devendra on Songo Da Nang Khoang Banam on Songo Vietnam Mot Men. I have been living in Da Nang, Vietnam for the last 3 years, and I've been living here alone, and I am 60 years old now on Sao Mui Tui. Living alone in a foreign country at 60 years of age might sound unusual or even frightening to many people. But for me, it has become not only a way of life, but also a way of learning. I have spent the past 3 years in Da Nang in Vietnam. Da Nang, which is considered to be the most livable city in Vietnam. And in this video, I will try to share my journey along with some reflections, lessons, and realities that anyone considering this path, whether in Vietnam or anywhere else, might find useful. Not long ago, living alone was considered rare or even tragic. Today, it's increasingly common. In fact, according to the United Nations, nearly 300 million people worldwide now live alone, and this number is rising steadily. In the US and Europe, nearly 1 in 3 households consists of a single person. For younger people, it might be about independence or career. For people like me, it often comes after children leave home, after relationships end, or simply because of circumstance. We are now at the Manthai beach, and the fishermen are just returning from the night out in the ocean, and the locals have come to pick up fresh seafood. So we were talking about the changing reality of living alone, and the advantages are obvious: freedom, independence, and the ability to live on your own terms. You can wake up when you wish. Like today, I got up so early, and other days, if I'm not feeling up to it, I will carry on sleeping, and in the afternoon too, I can take a nap. You can see people going out on the stand-up paddling boards, and you can go up to an island just near here, and there are some corals there, and it's a great activity. I've done that a few times on the weekend. So you can get up when you want, you can eat what you want, and you can do whatever you wish, and even spend an entire day in silence if that's your choice. But freedom comes with responsibility. When you live alone, there's no one else to blame, and no one else to rely on. Your health, your safety, and your happiness are squarely in your own hands. Why Vietnam? For me, the answer is simple. It's the quality of life here. Vietnam, and especially Da Nang, is affordable, modern enough for comfort, yet surrounded by natural beauty. The average cost of living here is 50 to 70% lower than in most Western countries. Of course, there are challenges. Language barriers can make daily life tricky. A simple taxi ride becomes a puzzle if your Vietnamese vocabulary runs out, and visas remain uncertain. Rules shift, and you can never be fully sure of how long you'll be allowed to stay. But then there are the rewards: friendly people, a warm culture, and a rhythm of life that feels both peaceful and alive. In many ways, Vietnam reminds me that home isn't just where you were born, it's where you feel alive. The greatest risk of living alone, especially as you grow older, is isolation. That's why staying active is not a luxury, it's survival. I have been surprised by how much energy Vietnam has given me. I go to the gym almost every day. I run half marathons. I hike in the nearby mountains. I swim in the ocean. I meditate every Sunday with a local group. And I have even revisited hockey and boxing. But activity isn't only about fitness, it's about connection. Social isolation has been linked to 30% higher risk of heart disease and strokes. Community, friendship, and belonging are as vital as exercise. Even small connections, joining a book club, learning Vietnamese, sharing a meal with neighbors, can transform solitude into something richer, a life with meaning. I hope you are liking this video and will stay till the end. And please do subscribe to the channel for more exciting videos from Vietnam and beyond. So we'll talk about some of the bitter or harsh realities and the harder truths. Living alone at my age, and for anyone I would say above 50, carries many risks. Health is one of the biggest ones. I used to be a heavy smoker, and while I've changed my habits over the last few decades, the effects linger. I often ask myself, if something serious happens to me, who will be there? Who will drive me to the hospital? Who will hold my hand in those moments of fear? At 20, you feel immortal. At 60, you know you're not. That's why health insurance, knowing local hospitals, and building a circle of reliable friends isn't optional, it's essential. But it's not easy in a new place. Finances are another reality. When I first moved here, I felt I could be comfortable for a long time to come. But just a few years without steady income have made things tighter and sooner than expected. The challenge isn't paying today's bills, it's preparing for tomorrow's uncertainties. Expat life is a reminder. Freedom is beautiful, but it is not free. It demands planning, sacrifice, and constant adaptation. I used to be a journalist and a writer and a humanitarian communicator. During most of my early life, I spoke very fast, even faster than I am speaking today, and I even stammered frequently. But life literally threw me into a job where I had to do a lot of public speaking. And also during some pivotal moments, I received hundreds of calls from global media for live TV interviews. So I learned to overcome some of my fears and improve myself and my skills somewhat. As human beings, we are wired for connection. Even the most independent among us need love or at least companionship. At 60, relationships become more complex. Love can be wonderful, but it also comes with responsibilities, financial, emotional, and practical. Do you commit deeply? Do you keep, do you keep things light? Or do you embrace solitude as a partner in itself? There is no single answer, no one size that fits all. Some find romance, others nurture deep friendships, and many choose solitude with grace. What matters is honesty with yourself and with others. Because in the end, it's not about being alone or with someone, it's about being at peace with the choices you have made. To me, living alone is not just a lifestyle, it's a philosophy. It teaches self reliance, patience, and acceptance. It strips away illusion. Solitude can feel heavy at times, yes, but it can also be liberating. You live without mass, without compromise. You learn to sit with yourself, and if you can do that, you can sit with anyone. A philosopher once wrote, "The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself." And that is what living alone ultimately offers, the space to being fully to yourself. I don't know how long I'll stay in Vietnam, perhaps years, perhaps months, but that is life, expat or not. Uncertainty is our only certainty. What matters is not how long we stay, but how fully we live. By staying active, by building connections, by embracing solitude, and by preparing as best as we can for the challenges ahead. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now the strength that in old days had moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. An equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Come on, Zatniu. Thank you very much. And Gaplai Som. See you again soon. Goodbye. Tambiet.